Sean Hampstead is our referee. He blows time on, and it will be the Tigers who defend the southern end of Leichhardt Oval in this first half. Bartram handed back to Hornby. Grubbers, not much happening there, although getting up pretty quickly. Andrew Hart almost got to it. Now Kafusi beat McGregor's tackle. He's only got forwards now. Blacklock there to make the tackle. A good thing for the Dragons too, because Colin Ward certainly wasn't going to catch Kafusi. Bradley Galilauer takes it to the 30. Good pass as well to Hassan Saleh. An equally good pass back to Joel Kane. The Tigers keep it alive. Saleh gets into dummy half and takes it forward, almost to the Dragons' 10. Picked up some big metres on this set of 6 and still tackles to play with. Simon cuts out one. Withers stepping inside, Lance Thompson. Got past Riles as well to score for the Tigers.
Well, he's a great player, Lincoln Withers, and it all came about by a wonderful run by Lapina Kafusi. We spoke about maybe the balls may go in the air today. This time it was along the ground by Hornby. Great chase by Blacklock. And then he gets up, plays the ball. They kept it alive. The Dragons, they get a bit wide in their defensive line. And what happens is a quick guy like Withers can put a step on. It leaves a guy isolated. They're not closer together, the St George Dragons, and they will have real types of problems if they don't start to make sure that their defensive line is the same width, because that time Withers just stood, went through, and I'd like to see them do 2 plays, 3 plays. They'll be quite successful.
Joel Kane back in the side has the kicking duties, as you would expect. The #1 kicker strikes it pretty well and puts the Tigers in front. 6-0, a smile on the coach's face early on. Bradley Galilauer will play. Carney dummying by Ben Hornby. He's almost back to the halfway line. A couple of tackles left, and the Dragons
come behind me. Have a look at me.
Up in front of Sean Hampstead. The penalty goes to the Tigers. Another great chance here coming up. Simon will find the line and put them somewhere around about the Dragons' 20-metre line. Some real pressure coming up here on this Dragons defence. They were caught out the first time the Tigers were down this end just moments ago. We'll see what happens on this occasion. Here's Withers. Gives it back to Ben Galea, who took the tap, and he's only a couple of metres away. Centre gets into dummy half. Short ball for Lowry. Nothing much doing there. We'll play it back to Carney. Withers at first receiver. Walker and a decoy back on the inside. Simon cuts back on the inside as well. Slipped it back to Joel Kane. Thompson stopped him. Simon loops the ball over the top. He finds Hassan Saleh. The ball goes backwards and cleaned up by John Carwell. Play on, says Hampstead. From Simon, across the face of everybody again. Taken this time by Galea. He plays it quickly. Withers running from dummy half will score. He's second. The Tigers are on fire. It's 10 points to 0. The Dragons are shell-shocked.
Well, they might be shell-shocked. They were getting away with it there, the Dragons. They were getting up hard off their line. They're putting the pressure on the West Tigers, and that time they failed to get off their line. They started sliding. Withers out from dummy half. What's the Dragons defenders? They half come up, then they decide to slide. That's the reason he could go in. There was too much space in between the defenders.
One of the big pluses too was a very quick play of the ball, and some of those defenders were still getting back on side, and they are defending very wide, the Dragons. They're not condensing it in the ruck area. They're still very wide. There's probably 1.5 metres between each player, and that's why the Tigers are just building it up the middle and making good metres and then throwing it wide, and that's how they're catching the Dragons.
11 minutes gone here at Leichhardt. They're going it better than a point a minute. 12-0. The Tigers lead the Dragons. Gasnier gives it to Riddell. Good ball to hang on to it. Going into the top grade. Scoring a rash of tries in a small amount of games. Here's Peters. Stapleton standing there, wrapped up by Carney. The help also of Runciman. Here's Blacklock again, getting the first receiver. Hornby as the Dragons work an overlap. Blacklock's there. Scores his 6th try in 3 games. He just knows where to be at the right moment. He only had to go a couple of metres to score, but he keeps getting there to score.
Well, he might know where to be, Warren, but more so than any other winger in the comp, he doesn't just sit out there and wait for the ball to come to him and wait for things to happen. He makes things happen, as we see where it started from. A forward pass from Carney to Runciman. Then they won the scrum. It was just about keeping the ball alive. Hornby throwing the dummy. The defensive line came up hard for the Tigers, back on the inside, the Blacklock.
Did very well here, Hornby. Blacklock, of course, staying alive, but there wasn't much on for Hornby. Still able to keep the ball alive, back on the inside. Blacklock backing up again. And as I said, Laurie, he's the type of guy that won't stay out in the wing. You'll see him sniffing around the ruck area, running off the bigger forwards, running off the halfback. This time he came in as first receiver. That's why he's the leading try scorer.
Riddell with the arm in the air, which draws a response from the crowd. He hooked it though. The Tigers lead is 10. 14 points to 4. Carney. This is to Withers. Hill standing very wide on that right-hand side now. They'll take it just inside the 10. Here's Withers, turning it back. Mark O'Neill. Tackled by Thompson, his opposite number in the second row. Withers now. Oh, Carlaw got in the way. He was trying to pass behind him. Wasted tackle here for the Tigers. Now the ball comes loose. Reefed out by the Dragons. 6 more tackles for the Tigers. Simon looking for options. Withers just turns it away to O'Neill. He got it back to Carney. He's tackled by Riles. Fast play the ball. Withers again. Simon bypasses centre. Gives it to Bradley Galalawa. Got it to Kofusi. They're in again, the Tigers. The weight of possession inside the Dragons 20 had to tell. They found a gap down the left-hand side eventually. Good pass from Bradley Galalawa to Kofusi. Once again, the margin is 14.
Well, they're starting to form a combination down this left-hand side for the Tigers. Kofusi and Galalawa, 2 exceptional young footballers, got all the skills. This is where it all started. Amos Roberts ripping the ball out. Runciman diving on it. They got 6 again. Then from a quick play the ball by Carney, Withers gets out of dummy half. Beautiful ball here by John Simon, allows Galalawa on the outside of Hornby. Gets the ball away in the tackle. Great work to Kofusi.
Joel Kane now, around about 8 metres in from the western touchline. Give the Tigers once again a very handy lead here. Strikes it very high, floating to the right-hand side. It just missed. The Tigers in a good position. They lead the Dragons 18 points to 4. Here's Blacklock getting involved again and creating something for them as they get a roll across the halfway line. Hornby will play it. Peters at dummy half. Has Roberts at first receiver. Lee Hookie out there. Beats the Kofusi tackle. Steps back inside Darren centre. A really handful to stop. Walker it is who cleans him up eventually. On the last tackle, Walker has to go to the bench, surely.
That's twice. You go. See you later. That's twice, Shane, twice. Got it.
They take the quick tap. Riles will just bump it forward. He's around about 8 metres away. Dragons have been down here a couple of times and had nothing to show for it in recent times. They need a try here. Here's Hookie again. Beat the Kofusi tackle who came in off his wing. And he puts Ainscough away. A simple try in the end. Ainscough and centre having some words to say to each other once again. It's 18 points to 8. Jackson Kofusi, well, maybe the reason he changed his name is he thought he might be able to improve his defence. It doesn't work for Lapina because he raced it off the sideline then and presented a huge gap for the Dragons.
Well, this is where the rot started for the Tigers. Walker again penalised in the space of 5 minutes for holding down. They get a quick tap. Riddell gets out of dummy half. Kofusi comes charging off his wing. He made the correct decision, but the execution was wrong. He had to make sure that he wrapped the guy with the football up, and then centre knocked Ainscough over. He wasn't too happy with it. They're both complaining head-to-head, but the referee comes in, sorts them out. And that what was needed from the Dragons just before half-time. They needed to be next to score.
You see Mark Riddell about to make the attempt to kick conversion.
Hooking back. Comes over the black dot. The try the Tigers did not need to concede just before the break. Peters. Dragons go to the right-hand side. Here's Roberts. Gives it off to Lee Hookie. He made some inroads since coming onto the field. 18 seconds left in the first half. Riles takes it across the halfway line. The Phantom Siren has gone off. I can't imagine why. I thought he was a Dragons fan, and here they are on the attack. Still plenty of time left in this first half. Last tackle, though, for the Dragons. Off the hands of Kafusi across the sideline. And now the real siren will sound, and that will end the first half. Sean Hampstead waiting to blow time back on. The Tigers will run towards the grandstands at the southern end here at Leichhardt. The theory goes that when they run towards that southern end at Leichhardt here, they usually put on a pretty fair performance in the second half, and they've got every chance today of coming up with a win against the Dragons. Walker is back out there now for the Tigers. Hornby wrapped up by Simon. They're just 10 metres away. Full set of 6 to work it. Here's Riddell, perhaps a shepherd there as he ran behind Andrew Hart. That rule almost seems to have disappeared from the rule book in recent times.
Well, there was one last night.
Cost the Penrith Panthers a field goal against the Broncos, which put them in front, and they went on to win the game by a comfortable margin, but it was anything but comfortable. Thompson flips it back. It comes to Willie Peters. Here's Blacklock again, getting involved as he did in the first half to score their first try. Hart looking to offload the Blacklock. There he is, a dummy half now, going himself, looking for try number 2. He went very close, and he's claimed one.
Just check that was on the line. Just check when if you put the ball on the line and go back.
Sean Hampstead wants to take a look at it. I'm not so sure Blacklock thought he got there, but he thought he'd ask of it anyway. There were still tackles left for the Dragons, so if it's a no try, they will have the ball in their hands still, with the tackle count continuing on. Hard to see him getting there, but I think he might have got there on the other angle. Once we take a look at this one here, here he is. The ball in his left arm. Well, I'll tell you what, he got as close as Jason Deeth did the other night for the Warriors. If that's any guide, it has to be a try.
Look, I think he was short. I think you'll find he's fallen short, so it'll be a restart with the play the ball.
This angle here gave you the impression initially that he may have got there. The other angle from the northwestern corner wasn't anywhere near as convincing. You can see that angle there. Well, obscured by the leg of Joel Kane, whether the ball was in contact with the goal line. And I think perhaps have a ref's call coming up. We have a ref's call, and Sean Hampstead points to the pot and says, there you go, a try to Nathan Blacklock, who scores a double. He's gone 3 tries, 2 tries and 2 tries. Graham West copping a bake from the fans here in the Matcham Robertson stand as Mark Riddell looks on from 20 metres in from that eastern touchline, trying to put the Dragons within 2 points. He salutes, and the Dragons fans salute him as he adds the extra 2. It's 18 points to 16. The Tigers and their fans are anything but happy. Things are happening thick and fast out there in the middle, though. Sean Hampstead certainly knows he's in a game of rugby league out there, and he's wearing the green shirt. Here's Darren Centre, went straight through them. Had options everywhere and couldn't get to anybody. There are 4 or 5 players in support before Roberts dragged him to ground. Withers. The Dragons up quickly off their line. Simon, it comes back to Galea now. Standing in the tackle on the last tackle. Simon just canters from dummy half. Grubbers towards the in goal off the upright and offside of the Dragons. Off the hands of Roberts into Hornby's hands.
He comes from offside. Yeah, no, he touched it though. He touched on the way back through. Ask him, he touched it.
The ball certainly touched the post.
Just touched it as it came off the post. He did touch it. He did touch it.
And it also touched the hand of Roberts, according to Joel Kane from close range. Gives the Tigers another 2 points as Terry Hill watches on from the bench. 20 points to 16 is the scoreline. You've still got 25 minutes left, but you get the feeling whoever loses this game, it's such an important game for both teams, is going to be very upset at the result. McGregor, he's just 9 metres away. Peters from dummy half. Gives it to Andrew Hart. If the Tigers can hang on here, it'll really boost their spirits. Bartram gives it off to Jason Ryle. Strong tackle down low. It was made by Darren Centre. Bartram again had a hand in there. Had to be a penalty surely, and it will be.
No, offside, offside. No, Vanny's there. No, it was offside. He hit the ball. Offside and hit the ball. No, yeah, but he was offside. He wasn't square at marker. He was not square, but he's reached out and hit the ball. He was offside. The Saints never got it back. Wait on.
They want to argue the toss again, the Tigers. Darren Centre wasn't happy about it. The ball hadn't cleared the ruck. Quite obviously had to be a penalty. Fitzgerald, or Bartram rather, will tap it and give it off to Jason Riles. Still just 5 metres away. Bartram going from dummy half himself, looking for the line. Got across the line. Was he held up, or did he get the ball down?
Graham. Well, look, hey.
Well, it's on again here.
As if the player was held up and he rolled him over and the ball hit the ground. Yeah, okay.
Video referee Graham West will be called upon once again. Let's have a look at it. Centre has his hand on the ball there. Some part of the ball touching the grass. Got to be some doubt about that. And as we know now, the benefit of the doubt has to go to the attacking team. This could be a pretty good angle, this one.
I think the tackle he was held while he's still trying to struggle around. I think the ball's definitely hit the ground there, but I actually thought the tackle was completed, and then he rolled over again.
But I agree with you, Laurie. I think he was held up.
No, he wasn't. Graham West says that's a try to Wayne Bartram. And guess what? We're all tied up here at Leichhardt with 20 minutes left in the second half.
But again, that try came about from a mistake by the Tigers. So really, I mean, they can't go blaming the referee. They can't blame the video referee. They've got themselves to blame. They had the football in their hands. They lost it on the first tackle.
Bartram from wide out can't add the extra 2. So the game remains deadlocked. Let's put the Tigers under a little bit of pressure here. The Dragons are still in their own half. Gasnier. Here he is, stepping into a little bit of traffic. He's 40 metres away. Riddell gives it off to Jason Riles. Good tackle by Galea. 9.5 minutes left. Are they thinking field goal at this stage or looking for 6? Here's Riddell. He's midfield. Blacklock is at dummy half. He's got Willie Peters looking for the field goal. Left foot strikes it between the posts. The Dragons are in front by an ace.
Well, they work well for the field goal, but to be honest with you, I don't think that's the end of the game. I don't think the field goal is going to be enough.
Well, that was a great kick there by Willie Peters. It mightn't be enough, Bert, but why not take the one, get the lead? The longer this game goes on, the harder it's going to be to put 1 point over.
Bradley Galilauer passes to Peter Kafusi. Tackled there by Lee Hookey. Gets up and plays it quickly as well. Bradley Galilauer again has had a good game, and he gets a ball away to Willie Manu. Stepping past them as well. Still going. Got it back to Joel Kane. He's not tackled. He gives it to Jason Lowry. Here's Kafusi looking for number 2. Had the ball stolen. A penalty to the Tigers. They'll take the shot. They will take the shot. Joel Kane will get the chance to put the Tigers in front.
I told you at one point it wasn't going to be the end of the game.
Oh, Nostradamus Kenny went out on a limb. You're kidding. There was still 9 minutes to go, and he made the call.
It was just great work by the West Tigers. Kafusi, Galilauer, this guy here, Manu off the bench. Very strong, kept the ball alive. Joel Kane, we thought he was going to go over. Amos Roberts came again. They all stopped. They thought, what's going on? gave the ball to Lowry, then Kafusi tried his best, and Tracy steals the ball in a 2-on-1, and this kick here by Joel Kane can win the match for the West Tigers.
Well, that's an early call as well. There's still 4 minutes left. Tell you what, it'll put them in front. I've got no doubt about that, but I don't know about winning the game just yet. 15 metres to the side of the post, just 12 metres out. He strikes it beautifully, right across the black dot, and the Tigers assume top spot again. Just over 3 minutes left here, 22-21. Carney going from dummy half, bounces away from the Andrew Hart tackle, taking a power of stopping himself now. Centre gets into dummy half, gives it to Simon, looks for a field goal from long range. I tell you what, it's there!
I couldn't tell, short.
It was just short, said Sean Hampstead. It dropped under the bar. Curious decision from Simon to go for the field goal from such long range. The Dragons have got the ball. I'm still not sure the ball didn't scrape across the crossbar. There wasn't much in it. It was a Craig Polamatta job from 1998 against the Eels. Here's Nathan Blacklock down the sideline, chipping over the top of Joel Kane. Got a room service bounce to win the game for the Dragons and book himself a New South Wales Blues Origin jumper.
What a try by Nathan Blacklock. That's his hat-trick today, and that might be the sealer for a New South Wales spot. Fantastic effort. We thought the game was all over for the Tigers.
Well, you thought it was all over. You were kidding. Blacklock time was always going to come, and he's done it at the death, and not for the first time. And do you think he's not pumped up?
We'll rub it in, Warren. Go on.
I will, but I tell you what, I'll rub in the fact that he will win a New South Wales jumper in around about 1 hour and 15 minutes. If they don't pick him, they should all hand their selectors' cards back in.
Well, they might, but what a great piece of work. I'd love to have a look at that field goal attempt, though, just before that gave the Dragons the ball. We got the ball out to Blacklock. He's into space, puts it over, and what about the bounce? Just comes straight back up. He's too good. Great effort by the Dragons, and they are home.
There is no doubt about it now. They are dancing. Wayne Bartram is delirious. Stapleton also. And what about the celebrations from Blacklock? He hasn't pulled one off for a while, but he's been saving it. And they loved it on the terraces here at Leichhardt. His teammates absolutely swamped him. What a player. A hat-trick today after he scored 3 tries, 2 tries, and now 3 tries in his last 3 games. He is a marvel. Here is Mark Riddell. The kick is a good one. He adds the extra 2. He does a Blacklock tumble as well. The score is 27-22, and there is a chance. While there's life, there's hope for the Tigers, but they need to regain the ball here from this restart. Simon did it last week against the Roosters. He needs to reconjure what he did last week once again here. Carlaw is the target. The Tigers had the ball and knocked it on.
Knock on.
Tyron Smith got to it from the restart and knocked it on. They were going to get a chance.
Don't throw it away like that, fellas. You won't get the feed.
Sean Hampstead blows time off once again. 17 seconds remaining. It is phantom siren time now. I'm sure he'll be firing up in a few moments.
Well, I'm sure he'll be out there, Warren. I've put the mocker on both these sides today, thinking that the other one was going to win. Just been a great game of football. Never say die attitude from both clubs. But with only 10 seconds to go, it's going to be the Dragons.
It certainly is. Lance Thompson will be happy if the game finishes right there, and it does. What a win! They were all but gone after the penalty goal from Joel Kane, but Nathan Blacklock, there is no other player like him in the league at the moment for scoring tries. He is just incredible, and once again, he has pulled the Dragons out of the fire quite literally.
This has been a Fox Sports production.